Alright, welcome back everybody, and it's been a long weekend, very busy, but came back from the track Saturday, ran a few motos, and now we gotta do a little cleanup, little wash. Gotta wash the bikes, got 3 bikes to wash, the little pit bike and the 2 big bikes, so that will be very fun to do. But I went to go lift the 250 off the stand, from the fender, and one of the bolts ended up popping right off, so I think the threads are a bit gone on it, on the subframe. So I want to replace those threads with a helicoil. Now, with that being said, I'm going to show you guys how to use a helicoil and how to install one. It's very, very simple, nothing too, serious, but in order to get to that, I got to wash a 250. So I want to wash a 250 first and go from there. But yeah, if you guys want to see some riding clips too, from this past Saturday, didn't get much vlogging style or vlog videos, or enough film to create a vlog, but there is a bit of clips of me riding up my Instagram page. If you guys want to take a look at that, Ryan Frankel 414, go take a look at that. But other than that, let's get started here and show you guys the process. Alright, welcome back. We got the bike all washed up. It's basically ready to go to fix these threads. So, right over here, mind the mess, the gear mess over there. But over here, I have to rip off the left number plate, left side number plate, and then the rear fender I'm just going to take off. So it's easier because the bolt that stripped out was that one. Hold on, why is this? Was that one right there. Alright, so it turns out the head's an M8, right? It's an 8mm head, if you can focus. But the threads are a M6. So if I grab my helicoil here, let's try to do it without, if I can show you guys. I grab my helicoil, and then if it threads on like this, it should go on very effortlessly too. Right, I'm just testing to make sure it's the right helicoil, and the M6 is thread on perfectly. So I'm going to use an M6 helicoil. With that being said, I have my drill bit here that's already on my drill. We're going to drill out the previous threads and then grab our tap and we're going to tap it. Alright, now we're going to drill out the old threads here. We're going to grab our drill. Make sure you're drilling straight. I don't want to go too much because the subframe is right there. Beautiful. Awesome. Now we're going to grab our tap and we're going to create new threads. Just like that. So when we create these threads, you're going to want to make sure that this is dead straight. I also like to get some penetrating fluid or some sort of oil right? Even old engine oil will be fine on these, right? Just to help it guide through. Alright, so I got a little mini crescent wrench here. I'm just gonna grab the size. Now this is very important here. We gotta make sure this gets in straight. So, alright, so we got our helical, and you can tell here there's a little tab. Now when it gets inserted all the way, it's supposed to just go a little bit below the surface you're putting it into. So this tab will it'll get broken off, like we'll break it off when we're done when it's inside. Now to screw it in, we have our tool here, and it's gonna hook into there just like that, right? Now this will hook into it just like that. Now I also put red Loctite on these threads so in the future it doesn't slide out. Alright, so I got our Loctite here, and I'm just gonna throw some on the outside threads there, and this will screw in into those threads we created. Once again, make sure it's straight going in. Okay, once again, make sure it's straight going in, and you want to make sure it's not sticking out and it's pretty much flush right there. So I don't know if you can tell, but I normally run my finger up above it on top, and I'm just gonna go in just a little hair more. Perfect. So what I do now is I let that dry for a bit before I try to thread any bolt in. Now with a small little punch, that metal tab that's inside, I just break it, and then you can put your bolt in all the way. So I normally let that dry first before I break the tab. So we'll come back when that dries. We'll give that 10-15 minutes, and then we'll break that tab. Alright, so I let that helicoil dry for a little bit with the Loctite just to make sure it seats right. I'm just going to grab my little center punch and break that little tab inside. If you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right in there, there's that little tab. And that little tab, we're gonna break it. We're just gonna push it through, and once I do that, I can throw the plastics back on, and then we'll be good to go. So let me button that all up and punch that through, and yeah. Alright, so before I throw the plastics back on, what I would like to do is grab my bolt here and make sure the threads are okay inside. So I'm just gonna thread it. Alright, so the 250 is all back together back there. It's all locked and loaded and ready to go. But now I'm gonna grab the 125 because that bike's having a bit of a starting issue right now. Went over a tabletop at the practice track and it cut out on the downside. So like 5 seconds earlier, I would have been on the floor. But anyways, with that being said, I gotta check that all out. I think it's a stator because I checked for spark. There's really not much spark. It's very weak. So I'll take a look at that. That could be also, a background again. I don't know. But if you guys want to see some riding clips also, there's a new sick edit on my Instagram page up there. So go take a look, Ryan Franco 414. And if you guys like, for more content like that, go follow me over there too, right? So, there's an edit and some photos up there. That is pretty much it. I'm going to work on that top end video, get that thing out for you guys. And yeah. All right. See you in the next one.